Welcome back. Restaurant owners and servers are worried about a Michigan Supreme Court ruling that they say will hurt the tipping system. And today they spoke with lawmakers about what they want to see happen to prevent that ruling from going into effect. Our Rachel Ramsey is here for you with the latest on this ongoing battle.
Sherry, this goes back quite a few years, all the way to 2018, when the group One Fair Wage created a ballot initiative to raise the minimum wage to $12 for everyone, including servers and bartenders. Lawmakers chose to adopt and amend the initiative and reverse the wage increase, allowing servers to continue relying on tips for income rather than receiving the minimum wage. But after a lawsuit, the Michigan Supreme Court ruled this unconstitutional and reinstated the original ballot initiative, giving everyone a $12 minimum wage. The people I spoke with today say this will eliminate the tip credit, which I'm told is the expectation on a customer to tip.
All of us servers and bartenders will make less money, and a lot of us will end up losing our jobs.
Bartender Joshua Smalley says he likes the way things are with the current system of tips being a part of his income. He says if it's not broken, don't fix it. And even though the law also provides workers paid sick time, Smalley says that aspect is just not worth the pay cut he would experience.
I think we're willing to compromise, but for the most part, I think we just want to keep most things the way they are. You know, sit-down dining places will end up closing their doors, and I don't think any of us want that.
This ruling does not eliminate tips, but people I spoke with feel if customers know their server is getting minimum wage, they will be less likely to tip as much or not at all. And John Selleck says they are already seeing that happen.
If they wanted a basic minimum wage job, they would have gone out and got one. These jobs pay way more than minimum wage. They're paying closer to $30 an hour.
James Hawk with One Fair Wage, who is the group trying to make these changes, says he doesn't think people will know about the change in wages, so nothing will change.
We have in Southeast Michigan, it's about 11 restaurants that pay a minimum wage or higher, and their tips are higher right now.
And he says those 11 restaurants are doing fine themselves, even though they are spending more to pay their employees.
At One Fair Wage, we have classes for business owners to take so they are able to transition into paying their workers a minimum wage or more.
If lawmakers do not make any changes, minimum wage and paid sick days for everyone will go into effect in February. Michigan would be the 8th state to require full wages with tips on top. Sherry, back to you.